Hello, everybody. Welcome to Slownami. This is my own slow run with a little bit of a twist from the typical ones you might have seen from Hikaru Nakamura or Levi Rossmann. So the idea here in my slow run is that I'm not a very good chess player. I am rated about 1300 in Blitz. I don't really play rapid, and I started playing about a year ago. So this slow run is going to be a bit more entertaining than educational, but for those of you that are very new, I'm going to show you how I think in a perspective from a beginner. I have been coaching a lot of new beginners myself in my chess club, and I'm just going to show you at least how to get from a very new beginner into playing relatively okay chess. Let's get right into it with our first game of a 10 minutes. I am currently at 100 rating, and let's see how this goes. We're playing with the black pieces. So a big difference from my slow run from the other big ones you might have already watched is that I will most likely be playing the same openings again and again, and that's something I recommend the beginners doing. So you're not going to see a lot of variety, rather you will see a lot of the same openings and how I think while playing them. So when meeting e4, I like to respond with a Karukan, which is a very common opening, very popular because it's versatility, it's pretty easy to learn, it's pretty easy to play. And they play the main line, the most competitive way with taking the whole center with the Karukan. After playing c6, you want to play d5 to strike at the center. Here they can push, they can protect, they can take, they can play fantasy variation. There's a lot of options here. So you have to learn a few variations here, but the most common ones are for sure to push and to defend. If you're a beginner, it's very reasonable to take. But the reason why we put this pawn here is to protect the d5 pawn, so that if it was taken, we simply take back. You see, as this is my first game, I'm going to start by going up quite a lot. So we're going to go from 100 to 151, unless this player is surprisingly good, but we'll see. So when playing in this level, you want to focus on the principles. That's the most important part, and our opponent here is following the principles very nicely. The principles when you're a beginner in the opening is you want to take control of the center. They have done so very well. You want to activate your pieces, so they have activated the rook. You want to activate both the rooks, and you want to activate your bishops first. So now they are striking at this pawn. It's protected, so I'm just going to develop my knight, and in the same time I'm also overprotecting this pawn, so that if they were to attack it somehow again, I don't need to defend it once again. Another principle in the opening is you want to castle as early as possible to get your king to safety. That's also why I chose to use this knight instead of this one, because you can castle on both sides, but it's faster to castle on this side because you have to get 2 pieces out of the way instead of 3. Now they've done broken a principle. In the opening, you should not move the same piece twice. They should develop either a bishop or a knight and get ready for castling. They have spent a move doing absolutely nothing. This threatens to go here, which doesn't really do anything from here. They are not attacking anything. So this is too slow of a move. And another principle is don't put your edges at the edge of the board. They don't belong there. So we are going to continue with our development. The way I want to do this now is how can I develop this bishop? You need to remove a pawn first. These 3 pawns are going to stay here to protect my king, So therefore, I want to move this pawn out of the way. I can't move it here, it's going to be taken. But I can't move it here yet, and that is because I will be blocking my bishop in. So I will choose to develop this bishop first. After this, I can move my pawn and develop this. So now they give me a check. This is not dangerous at all. In fact, I can just develop my knight while protecting my king. If they were to take here, this is very good for me because I get to get more control of the center with putting another pawn here, which I can later push, supported by my bishop. So actually, I kind of want them to take here. It would be quite nice for me. Let's see what they do. But so far, our idea is to move this pawn, which is what we're going to do, because their move did nothing. By putting my knight here, I was not threatening their bishop in any way, shape, or form. There was no need to move it. They have blocked their own queen inside. They have not gotten any further along the way to castle. They need to develop their pieces. I'm getting a lot of control on the center. I have 3 developed pieces. They have 1. 1 semi-developed. I'm 2 moves away from castling. So yeah, this is a normal move in chess. You use it to fianchetto the bishop. I can yeah, I see I can give a check here. You always need to look for checks. They can block like this, and I can't take back because of this knight. But what if I do this first? It gets taken. So this idea is too slow. I would have to do this first, and they get a lot of moves. I can take here right now, which also threatens this bishop. But it's going to be taken by the queen. This is the difference between the pros and me. I need to do a little bit of calculation and thinking. I'm spending way too much time here, so let's just continue with our original plan. I'm going to develop my bishop. Okay, they finally developed their knight. They're getting ready for castling. This knight can go here. It's no problem for me. It can go here. No problem for me, not attacking anything. Particularly after we castle, the king will be protecting both of these pawns. This pawn is protecting this one. So we're just going to castle. Don't need to think too hard on it. They're probably going to castle as well, I hope. I must say they're playing not that bad for someone rated 100. Now, we're in the middle game. We have castled. I have developed most of my pieces, but I need to look at how I can utilize the fact that my opponent is slow in development. I'm looking at this idea, making this attack on the enemy king. I can support it also with this knight later on. I can maybe try to trade this bishop for the knight to have it so that it doesn't defend. And since I'm low on time, I like this plan. I'm just going to go for it. I don't need to look for anything better right now when I'm this far behind on time management. They made a very quick move. They moved their queen. Let's see if it threatens anything at all, anything new. You also have to see if the squares they are threatening anything. This square is not threatening anything. You can't go to these squares. This just doesn't do a whole lot. So I also see I can do this to attack the queen. But I think rather I want to go here or maybe here first. I think I'm going to go here first actually. Because if I trade this, then this bishop will be protecting. And now I have a direct threat. I can take. If it takes, then take with check. I win a pawn. That's my idea right now. I was wondering how this guy was not blundering anything yet. We have 12 moves before a blunder, which is very, very nice. We're going to take here. When if takes, then we just take, and they don't take. We can take here, this just does nothing, so we can retreat, also does nothing. If you take now, it's checkmate, so it's very good. Maybe we can try to threaten the bishop to scare him. When playing in this low elo, this is not the optimal way of thinking in higher elo, but in this low elo, I'm going to try for some shenanigans here, trying to scare him into having to move the knight, and then he sees, oh, I can take this bishop, which will result... Oh, there we go. My little trick worked. And that's it for the first game of Slownami. And I think I want to do 2 games for each episode. Maybe if I'm lucky... Oh, my bad. Maybe if I'm lucky, I get to play a game with the white pieces and show you what opening I like to play here. So now we have are up 50% for rating from where we were. We're approaching 200 if we win this game. And for the white pieces, I like to start with e4. You can meet a lot of different things here. So if you really want to get good in the opening, you need to learn a little bit of openings, but honestly, just follow principles and try to play roughly the same thing every time as long as it's working. Here, I like to develop my knights. When you get e4, e5, I like to develop my knight to f3. This is very interesting. I don't meet this too often. I'm not very experienced with this, but I see a free pawn. They can also take, but yeah, you shouldn't move two times same piece in the opening. But I like to do this when meeting this knight because it's most common to meet this knight. And let's see, why do I like to do this? I like to do this here. I'm threatening checkmate and this at the same time. They have to find this. I can also... You know what? I think I'm just going to do that. Don't bring your queen out too early. But we're doing it anyways. And we have mate in 1. We're going to do one more. Because this game was just... I threatened mate in 1 in the second move and the third move, and he didn't see it. So now we get something interesting. We get the queen's pawn opening. Instead of having to defend against the e-pawn, we're having to defend against the d-pawn. A very common opening with the d-pawn is to play the queen's gambits. Let's do that. I usually like starting with the knight here, but yeah, let's do this. Let's start with the f6 knight. And they are playing something I can't say I've seen before. This is just blocking in the wrong bishop. It's kind of slow, I would say. I can just continue my development with taking control of the center, and they are building a pyramid. This is a very strong pawn structure. It can lead to a lot of close positions, but we will do our best to make sure that we will open up the position. I will develop my bishop because I want to move this pawn. Why do I want to move this pawn? Because I want to protect this square. Because I want to move my c pawn to c5 to strike at the tip of their iceberg and make them upset that their pyramid is gone. So let's do that. They move the same piece twice in the opening. It's too slow. We are ahead in development. I dare to say, and let's just continue with our plan. This is not threatening anything. They can threaten our bishop, but that's 3. If they do that, they move the same piece 3 times in the opening. Also, they could have just moved this here instead of this, which would have been way better, developing a piece. So, yeah, they are playing too fast. They're not thinking. This has placed them in a very, very solid position, I must say. But currently, they're not threatening anything. So they didn't take. If they take, it would have been good for me. But I don't need to take yet. I can start by developing. I want also to develop my knight here. But right now we can get this, and then whatever. I can take this, and then I'm back to my original pawn structure, which will be great. But I think I will just start by developing my queen here, because then I can potentially take with my queen. If you try to move the bishop now, I attack this. I can after activate this, and before you know it, there you go. This is just not a good move. I think I will develop my bishop. If you can do two things at the same time, do it. Now I take back the pawn that I lost at the same time as I'm developing a bishop. So that's a very nice move for me. I would dare say I am already in quite a big positional lead in this game, just because I have more development. Something we need to be careful of here is this knight. Well, before we castle here, we need to think, what if the knight jumps in? Can it fork our rook and our queen? In this position, no, because we are protecting this square. But this is something you have to look for before you move a piece, especially when you're playing with 10 minutes. You have the time to move, to think of this. They are attacking here. My bishop, this is a very forcing move. It forces us to do something about the situation. What can we do about the situation? I really like playing this move. That's called playing with tempo. I am moving a piece out of danger as at the same time as I'm attacking a piece. So this is my opponent played a forcing move, and I play a forcing move right back. I force my opponent to either protect the knights or move it to safety. Give us a check. Not really anything dangerous here. We can just go here. If it takes, takes. Yeah, we already calculated this, so we will just do what we plan to do. This move just loses a pawn. I can take here, or I can take here. This is false. Guys, you need to check for snipers. Look at that sniper. If I were to take, I would lose the game. Let's not do that. This is real. I cannot take back because it's protected. We have to do something about this. What are we going to do about this? This is not really a big problem. We can just push and the whole threat is gone. So let's do that. More control over the center. Guys, if two pawns are standing next to each other, they protect everything. You cannot cross. It's a wall. Especially useful in endgames. Kings cannot cross this wall. This does nothing. This pawn is stuck. What are you going to do? I'm just going to castle. You're playing too slow. You can't castle on this side. You have no protection. You have moved your rook, and on this side you're far too gone, and it doesn't even matter. I could have just taken this in the last move. I didn't even see it, but he doesn't see it either. He goes here, and I can just take this now and take this after. He should not take this queen, because you shouldn't trade material, especially not the queen, when you're down in material, and I just won the rook. So it's going to be way harder to manage to win some material back from me if you don't have a queen on the board, because there are way less tricks, there are way less ways to confuse your opponent. If you make the game easier for your opponent while they are leading, it's going to be easier for them to win. And they are making it easier for me, because now I can just take their queen and trade it. So that's what I'm going to do. Now I want to activate my rook here to try to involve it in the game somehow. I'm also looking at this move, attacking here. I can play here and trade this off. That's a guaranteed trade. Even if they move, I can still take something. So maybe that's not too bad of a move. I'm always looking to trade if I'm up in material. If you're not up in material, don't trade. Okay. I can continue trading. I will do so. And no, I think I want to activate this, I will just go try to eat some pawns, to be honest. Don't forget about the sniper. I almost forgot myself. We can stop this sniper by just doing this when we need to. I almost forgot about the sniper there. I was just going to take and take. But I can't do that. They didn't blunder anything. We will stop the sniper from ever causing us trouble here. Now we can also play kind of fast if you have a very clear way forward for winning. To try to stress out your opponent. Of course, if you are in a complicated position where you are down on material, the opponent is trying to make some tricks, you need to stay sharp, use your time well. Time management is important. Right here, my opponent is playing moves that does absolutely nothing. They are prohibiting themselves from castling. This does absolutely nothing. In fact, they can just take it. So, yeah. We're going to play quite fast here to get the win. Yeah, we're continuing with our plan. We're going to take here. After we're going to take here, we are going to activate our other rook, try to develop it here, take. We just have a very easy way forward, and that's why we're playing as fast as we are. I'm trying to look for any nice moves, which I don't currently have, so I'm just going to continue doing exactly what I told you I was going to do. Here we might even have something like this, forking the... Okay, this move can't be very good. It's just doing... just letting us trade even further. Now I'm just going to bring my other rook. Now we're just a rook up and it's not too tough in this position to just trade off the pieces, I would say. I also notice in this position we have a passed pawn. If you ever think it's hard, you can put the rook behind and just start walking this pawn up. They're offering a trade. No, they're not offering a trade. They're trying to win our knight. We are, of course, not going to let them. If you're keen with your eye, you can also spot that we are threatening this move, which lets us trade yet another piece after they move. To protect this bishop, we can grab it, and they have to grab us back. So that's very nice. We're also, of course, just threatening this, so they have to move it out of the way. If they do this, they just straight up lose to a fork. They're not going to get the piece back. Then it's not even a trade. So they have to move right now. They can technically move here. But what does that do? You should try to maybe go here and... I don't know. It's pretty lost. Yeah, that's just... terrible move. Just loses the bishop. I'm just going to continue checking, and then I want to place this here to try to also win right here. I'm going to ignore this threat because it's not a threat if I'm threatening something back. Then it's just a trade. And as I already told you, that's the easiest way to win. When you're up in material. We have to be careful not to stalemate. I'm just going to continue to take here. If you play a check, it can't be a stalemate. Same principle. If it's a check, it can't be a stalemate. Now everything is protecting each other. And now we need to be careful of stalemate. He always has this move, so I'm just going to try to promote. Still has this move. There is no stalemate. Same thing. We now have the check. He offers a draw. Of course, I'm not going to accept, and then we have a checkmate here. Thank you guys for watching the first episode of Slownami. Hopefully we get a bit of tougher opponents in the next episode. See you guys then. Goodbye.